What up, you guys? How y'all doing? I have returned for my next prediction video for the Monster Energy AMA Supercross season, and that's at Indianapolis. It's a Triple Crown. And by the way, before I get into this, just remember, subscribe, and it's how my channel grows. I want to keep my monetization status, so let's get into this. Okay, as you're seeing on my banner here, is my Indianapolis prediction. Now, I know I was watching Cooksy's video, and his prediction is kind of sort of almost on par with me, at least the first three guys anyway. So on my main account, I've got Jett Lawrence, Cooper Webb, Chase Sexton, Eli Tomac, and Ken Roczen as your top five. And the wild card, I am going with Aaron Plessinger. I just don't think that Plessinger has really been running up front like he was at the start of the season. I mean, obviously, a lot of it has to do with the start, but we do have a Triple Crown format, so I have a feeling that that's not going to phase Jett, and Chase Sexton might have a chance as long as he gets three good starts. But quite frankly, I still think that they need to change the point structure to full points every single time, every single race, because then that'll count. The main event wins should count in the record books, not go by overalls. Because in Arena Cross, they had it down to a science. They had a 125 main and a 250 main back when guys like Buddy Antunez, Jenny Stevenson, Jeff Willow, and Pedro Gonzalez were racing. And they had a 125 main and a 250 main. They didn't go by overalls. They just went by, you win the race, you get 25 points. And frankly, I think that's how they should run it. So that way you can make up some points and make the races more worth it to ride. Now, I know that might face some criticism, but still, some might have some might be critical of that decision, but still, I think it should be like that. And that way, guys like Sexton, Tomac, and Roczen might have increased odds of winning a race. But that's just how I feel, you know. A lot of people, they might want it this way or that way, which generally is not very wrong. And they're not wrong. Their reasoning is legit. I mean, I think mine's is legit. I mean, if I was running if I was the guy who was in charge, that's how I would make the point structure. Make it very important and make it to where, I mean, if you're hurt, oh well, them's the breaks. So that's the 450s. This is on my main account. My alternate account, I have it as Sexton, Jett Lawrence, Eli Tomac, Ken Roczen, and Justin Cooper as the top five. And Cooper really showed me something in the last race at Birmingham when he was running as high as third. And I got to tell you, if that guy didn't make as many mistakes as he did, he could probably have walked away with a possible third place. I mean, it wouldn't have been easy. I mean, Roczen was putting a lot of heat on him until Cooper finally cracked and made a mistake on the on-off. And in the wild card for that one, I got Jason Anderson for 8th place. So, honestly, we're going to a Triple Crown format. I got to look at the track. It's almost similar to what I saw from Atlanta 2011. Basically, with the sand section across from the finish line jump. I don't know if you guys, in fact, I'm sure you guys remember that race, Atlanta 11. That was actually one of the most exciting races that ended in complete tragedy. But Chad Reed did something then that I would have done too. Not going to lie to you. But still, I think that Sexton could be back, and I think the shorter races are going to benefit him. It'll certainly benefit Eli Tomac if he can get out of this funk that he's in. But quite frankly, I think that Achilles injury for Tomac last year really zapped a lot of his momentum. I mean, look at what happened to Ezra Lusk and Damon Huffman, because after they had breakout seasons or breakout races, an injury kept them from really riding up to their full potential. Lusk had 5 wins in 99. He broke his shoulder in the 2000 Supercross opener, and he was never really the same after that. Damon Huffman also, he won the 97 Atlanta Supercross only to break a leg the very next race. And he couldn't take advantage of the momentum. I mean, and the way that Tomac is riding, he's kind of proving me right, in a sense. Because frankly, that this is not the same Eli Tomac we saw last year before he got hurt. And I don't think that this is the same Chase Sexton either. I don't know if Sexton's hand injury is as bad as we thought it was, but he's still riding out there and he's still sucking it up. But still, quite frankly, if Sexton or Tomac don't show me something in Indianapolis, this could very well be Jett Lawrence's title, and he could pull off what Ryan Dungey did in 2010. Except for Dungey, a lot of the heavy hitters had dropped out due to injury. Stewart, Reed, Grant, Short. Those are 4 guys there that could potentially challenge for wins, and they were all on the sidelines. And Stewart killed his own season in 2010 when he hurt his wrist in the heat race at Phoenix. But still, as far as the 250s are concerned, I have to say that I think Tom Vialle is going to make it 3 in a row. That's just my take. I just go with my gut. As far as the top 3 goes, I got it as Vialle, Deegan, and I'm going to say McAdoo. But with Seth Hammaker as a honorable mention. But I sure hope that Hammaker can really come through and win a race, because if anybody deserves a win out there in the 250s, Seth Hammaker is at the top of my list. Why? Because he puts in the work, and he seems to be not as prone to bad luck as, say, Cameron McAdoo was at Detroit. And I got to say that McAdoo, if that guy could just avoid some stupid breaks like what happened with him and Romano in the heat race, that guy can challenge for wins. Same goes with Seth Hammaker. But quite frankly, Haiden Deegan you heard me say it on my last video, but Deegan earned a black mark in my book, and that ain't going away. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. And frankly, despite the passionate attitude, which I am all for, there's a fine line between being passionate or just being a downright idiot. And really, what I saw from Haiden Deegan was the latter. I would not have gone to if you were going to the pro circuit tent to kind of apologize to Hammaker about the heat race, okay, that's one thing. But really, you're going to keep making yourself public enemy number 1. And I know I said that a lot, but that's what Deegan did in my view. So, I mean, as far as the top 5 goes, I'd have Hammaker for 4th, and I would probably go with Jeremy Martin for 5th. So, anyway, guys, that's all for today. And I just thought I'd keep it short. And remember, subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the Indianapolis race. You'll see a recap then.